Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. And today I am thrilled to be joined by current Udinese defender and former Watford player, Christian Kabasele. Christian, how are things over in Italy at the moment?
Hi. Yeah, everything all right for the moment. I think we are making a really good season comparing to the last one. So yeah, the second year is definitely better than the first one.
Good to hear. Lots to discuss today, of course, in quite a short period of time. So we'll get through as much as possible. Firstly, I want to cast your mind back to the end of last season with Udinese because on the very final day, you essentially had to win your final Serie A match to avoid relegation. You come on as a substitute in that match. Keenan Davis scored the winning goal. For you as a player, were you, nervous going into that match, or actually was it exciting to take part in such, a huge match in terms of Udinese's Serie A future?
Yeah, it was really stressful to be honest, because last year was the 29th year consecutively for the club in the Serie A. So we didn't want to be the first players to drop from the Serie A to Serie B for many years. So we had a real pressure. Not only the last day but all the season. It was really tough, and yeah, going into the game, knowing that we depend as well from other team results wasn't that easy. Especially that the team that was behind us was leading against Roma at the same time. So we were close. We were close to go down, but hopefully Keenan Davis came to rescue the team, to rescue the club, to rescue all the city. To be honest, because I really as well felt the relief from the fans here. And yeah, Keenan didn't play that much that season, but the only goal that he scored was a big one for the club, because I think there was only 3 or 4 teams in the Serie A that stayed as long as the Udinese
Mhm.
in the last 30 years. So yeah, it was a big achievement.
And as players after that match, did you, feel a sense of relief? Did you want to celebrate, or actually, as players, did you feel that because the season was so poor that you couldn't celebrate the fact that you'd survived? How was the feeling in the dressing room after you won that match?
No, we wanted to celebrate because, as I said, we were under a lot of pressure from basically all the beginning of the season. We had a really poor start, and after we kind of kept this form all the season. And yeah, when we finally get these 3 points on the last day, we celebrate. And me personally, I just wanted to switch off totally from football after that, because mentally it was really tough coming
Yeah.
to the training ground almost every day, uh, and training under this kind of pressure. It's not easy to deal with. So yeah, first celebration, and after try to think about something else than football.
Yes, a nice holiday to relax, I assume, Christian, you went on after the season.
Yeah, of course. For the first time, I had like long holidays, because most of the time we get 4 weeks off when we were in England. But now I had 6 7 weeks off, and yeah, it was good to change my mind with my family.
Lovely stuff. And fast forward to this season, Udinese, of course, made lots of signings in the summer. Alexis Sanchez made a return to the club as well. You currently sit ninth in the Serie A table. What are your aims personally as a player this season, Christian? And as a team, what are you aiming to achieve in the league? You yourself have already scored this season a good header against Inter Milan, I saw as well. So, what are your aims personally for you as a player and Udinese as a team this season?
Personally, I want to play as many games that I can. Obviously, I'm slowly coming to the end of my career, and to keep playing at this level, it's always a blessing for me. It's always a chance. So I try to get as much game time that I can have. And in terms of the team, obviously we are not safe yet mathematically, so we will try to push it to be safe in the next 3-4 weeks or so. And after, why not dream of bigger things? The first objective is to finish above the 12th place in the league, because from the last 10 seasons, the Udinese never finished above the 12th places, even when 2 years ago they start really well with Jerry, with Roberto Pereira. They were leading the table, six wins in a row, I think, and even with a good start like this, they finished only 12th. So we will try to beat this record. But first of all, we want to reach the 40 points mark, and yeah, after, who knows who can happen in this league.
And how do you find life in Italy? Of course, you moved from Belgium to England and now England to Italy. Do you find Italy a more relaxing culture? How do you compare, living in England compared to now over in Italy?
Yeah, it's much more relaxing, much more relaxing.
Nice
I would
weather,
say,
sunnier weather, less rain?
yeah, the
Yeah.
weather. I have more sun than Watford, obviously. But yeah, here it's more relaxing. In the beginning, I was a little bit shocked because I went one afternoon into the city center, and the shops are closed from 1 p.m. or 12 p.m.
Wow.
until 3 p.m., 4 p.m., because they are taking a break. So I was a little bit surprised. And yeah, this is the mentality of the country. But I love it. I love it, even if it was. I have to admit, it was really tough when we came here in the beginning, because my family and I, we were really attached in Watford. We were really attached at the culture. We were well settled. 7 years is not nothing. And yeah, the first month, and actually now we are still missing Watford and the habits that we had. We were really good there, and yeah, hopefully in the future we will maybe have the chance to why not keep living there.
So, Christian, of course, your former teammate James Abankwah has just joined Watford on a loan deal until the end of the season. Being his former teammate and defender, you must have trained with him during your time at Udinese. Talk to us about how he is as a player and what Watford fans can expect.
Yeah, I think he's a really good player. He improved a lot the last year or so. For the short story, this manager that we have now put him into the midfield from the beginning of the season. So he get that sense of playing with the ball. He improved a lot with his feet. He's really skillful. And when he had the chance to play at central back during some games, he was one of the best. And it's not easy to train for months at one position and to come into the game in another position. And he adapted so well. So that means he is really intelligent, and yeah, he has this personality with the ball to drive and to play forward, and yeah, in terms of 1v1 ability, is one of the strongest guy in the team. So I'm sure he will help the team, because he wants to have regular game time, and yeah, I think it's a positive move for both for the club and for him. So good luck to him.
Lovely stuff. And finally, on Udinese, the news come out yesterday that former Watford player Gerard Deulofeu has terminated his contract with the club to continue his recovery from injury. You obviously played with him at Watford and at Udinese. Of course, he's been very unfortunate with the injuries he's had in the past few years. But in terms of Deulofeu, Christian, how good was he as a player? Because for me as a fan, watching him from the stands, he was probably the most talented Watford player I've ever seen. So for you as a defender who's played with him at both clubs, talk to me a bit about him as a person and how talented he was.
The Watford fans said he's magic,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's it. That's him. That's him. Yeah, top quality player. 1v1 situation, he was really tough to defend against. yeah, he was so unpredictable with the ball, and that's what made his strengths. He was as well a good finisher in front of the goal, and yeah, he had as well this confidence that made him almost unstoppable sometimes. Everybody remembers the semi-final at Wembley against the
Yeah.
Wolves.
My
Um,
God.
yeah, before the game, he was a little bit upset because he didn't start, as everybody expected. A player of this quality would have started a big game like this. And after it was like, okay, I didn't start, it's 2-0 for Wolves, but no worries. I will change the game, and obviously he did it. So yeah, it's a shame that he doesn't have the chance to play for 2 years now, because the side of the player he's a really good person. When I came here, he helped me to get settled as well, even with the school, with the kids, with a lot of things. So hopefully he will find out a way to go back on the beach, because a player of this quality, a man like this, doesn't deserve to be so long out of football.
Absolutely, fully agree with you there, Cabra, and hopefully Gerard Deulofeu will be out on the pitch sooner rather than later. Going back to the start of your Watford career now, Cabra, you signed all the way back in 2016, spending 7 years at the club. At the time, Walter Mazzari was manager. How did the move to Watford actually come about? Of course, he was over in Belgium. Was it Walter Mazzari approaching you himself? Was it your agent coming to you with a proposal? How did the move to Watford actually start?
Yeah, so back at that time, I was making a good season with the gang, and obviously I had some interest from different teams. And at some point, I was aware that Watford was scouting me, and yeah, at that time, my agent had the proposal from the club, from Watford. I think I was in Euro with Belgium when I I, I really I really knew that I was going to Watford. So yeah, it was a little bit of surprise for me, because 2 years before I was still a striker in second league in Belgium, and after
Wow.
I get the chance to sign in a Premier League club. So everything was going really quick for me. And yeah, a dream move for me, coming to the Premier League, to Watford was definitely positive at the stage of my career.
And how did you find Walter Mazzari as a manager? Because as Watford fans, a lot of people found his football to be quite negative, quite defensive. For you as players, did you find it, quite difficult due to his lack of ability to speak English, or actually as players, did you quite enjoy playing under his system? I'm sure for you as a defender, you quite liked the defensive side to his game.
Yeah, for me personally, it was perfect, because as I said, 2 years before, I was a striker, and having the chance to have an Italian manager at this moment of my career was a kind of blessing, because he teach me a lot of little things, from a defender point of view, my body position, how to attack the opponent, and how to be well positioned. Yeah, but definitely it was more difficult in terms of the squad, in terms of the team, because every time that he was speaking in Italian, we had the traduction after, so the meetings were at moments so long, and yeah, for us the players, is not it wasn't maybe the best situation, even if I think we did quite okay that season. We some kind of drop off a little bit, our performances towards the end of the season, April, May, when maybe we had the feeling that he would not stay at the club. But yeah, obviously his career speaks as well for itself. He's a big manager. He managed big teams in Italy. It was just a shame that maybe we had this barrier language that prevent us to do better things on longer term.
Absolutely. And of course, for Watford, I think the aim that season really was to survive again in the Premier League, of course, after the previous season with Quique Sanchez Flores. During your time at Watford, Cabba, you'll be aware you've had a lot of managers. That is how the club operates under Gino Pozzo. You've had 14 managers during your time at Watford, including, of course, interim managers like Hayden Mullins, for example. As players, did you agree with the fact that the club got rid of managers quite quickly after a poor run of form? Because as fans, it did become increasingly frustrating over time how often the club would dismiss managers after 4 or 5 games without a win, for example.
I think for us players, it wasn't question to be agree or not agree. We were knowing the situation of the club. We were knowing the situation of the management, how they like to deal with the difficult situations. And yeah, to be honest, it worked. It worked quite well because in the beginning, the club stayed 5 years in a row in the Premier League, which never happened before, I think. So it was difficult for us for the player to complain about anything when this is how the club and how they are dealing with bad results. But obviously, it's always better when you have time to build something with the same person, to get some more automatism and to get through tough time with the same people. It builds some togetherness as well. But yeah, this is Watford. We need to accept this is how they deal with this kind of situation. And as the player, the only thing that we could have done better is to be good on the pitch every time, because if we are good on the pitch and if we get good results, the board or the owner doesn't have any reason to sack the manager. So the first responsible of these situations are us, were us, the player.
One of the more longer serving managers at Watford was Javi Gracia. And it was probably, the best time to be a Watford fan when Javi Gracia was at the club, Cabba. Of course, the 2018-19 season was probably the most successful I've seen Watford in my lifetime as a young Watford fan. Of course, reaching the Emirates FA Cup final and challenging for European football in the Premier League. As a group of players, how exciting was it for you to be playing in such a thrilling team under Javi? Because, yeah, as I said, as fans, it was, such an amazing season to watch.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing, and for me as well, it was, even if I wasn't a regular that season, it was one of the best season at the club, because we put everything into this season from the preseason. In Austria, we had the feeling that oh yeah, we are preparing some good stuff for the games. We are in good shape. I think all the players can say that that season was, in terms of physicality, everybody was at their best. So yeah, we had these feelings of positivity, and obviously the start of the season beat something more special with the four wins in the Premier League. And it was a shame that I remember David De Gea saved my head shoot at the last minute to prevent
Yes. Yeah.
not the perfect record, but at least the unbeaten record for 5 games in a row. But anyway, Javi Gracia was a top manager. He had some good ideas, and again, it's a shame that us, the player, at the next season, we were not able to deliver from the beginning, because we had the possibility with 2 games at home to have some good result, and we were not maybe good enough in the head, fresh enough in the head to perform again at that level, to save the manager. And as I said, it's really a shame, because obviously the final at Wembley was a good moment, but we lost 6-0. The last game of the season at Vicarage Road, we could finish top 10, but we dropped some points against West Ham. So yeah, all these little things, all this moment of doubt during the games maybe gave as well the opportunity to the board to change the manager in the season after. So yeah, it's really a shame, because all his staff all the people in his staff were as well good persons. So yeah, it's a shame that we, as the player, we throw that away in 4 games.
Yeah, you mentioned, of course, the FA Cup final there, and obviously Watford unfortunately lost that game by 6 goals to 0. Did you, as players, feel like the FA Cup final distracted maybe from the final Premier League games? Because you mentioned there, of course, Watford had the opportunity to finish in the top 10 of the Premier League that season, and of course, our form fell off quite drastically before that FA Cup final. Was there a sense of distraction and maybe people's mindsets being in the wrong place for them last Premier League games?
Yeah, I think it played a part. I think we only won from April or March or whatever. We think we won just 2 games against Huddersfield and Fulham, who were
Yeah.
bottom three at that moment. And for a team, for a club that wanted to be ambitious, it's not enough. So yeah, maybe we get distracted by the FA Cup final, but at the end we lost everything because we didn't have even the chance to fight in this final. I know that were talking about the change of Pereira. If it's 1-0 for us, maybe it's another game, but you
Yes.
cannot you still cannot lose a 6-0 in a final. It was a shame, but anyway, even with that, I realized that day as well how much the Watford fans were special, how much the club was special, because I didn't see so many fans when your team is 5-0 down, waving some flags like this and keep pushing the team like this. It was really very special for me personally, and I remember at some point I didn't even watch the game anymore. I was just enjoying what was happening in the stand, because it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and you mentioned the flags. In my bedroom here, I still have my flag over there that I was waving. I kept it from the days. So as you say, very very special. And credit
Yeah.
to all the Watford fans who carried on waving their flags even when we were losing quite heavily. I want to fast forward to the COVID times now, Christian. Of course, under Nigel Pearson. The season stopped midway through due to the COVID pandemic. As players stopping football so quickly, did you find it very difficult from a physical perspective, and also restarting and not having fans in the stadium? Was that difficult for you as players as well?
Yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult, but it wasn't as difficult that what people were living at that moment. Losing your loved ones for virus, that was really really difficult. So we had to take as well some step backs from what we were doing. At that time, it was really just football for us, and yeah, we had to find a way to keep our focus and our fitness in difficult situation. I remember, for the people who knows Watford really well, I was going to the Grove, to the Grove Hotel to keep my fitness, because there is a football pitch there and there is a wood. So we had a program from the fitness coach that we had to follow. But it's not like in the off season. In the off season, you know that you have 4 5 weeks to get ready for the first day of training. And at that time, it was like, yeah, I give you the program for 1 week, but we will see for the next week, because maybe we
Yeah.
will start again, maybe we will not start again. So it wasn't easy for us, because how us athletes, we train because we have an objective. We have this date again, this date a training session or whatever. And that time was, yeah, we train, but we don't have any objective for the moment in the short term. So it was really difficult to keep the mind focusing on this. And yeah, after coming back, playing in empty stadiums was helpful. Was really really helpful. Especially that year, the last game at home was against Liverpool, one of the best games that I lived in Vicarage Road in my
Yeah.
history. And we had the feeling that night we create something special, even more than the FA Cup quarterfinal against Crystal Palace and this kind of games. Well, I had the feeling that, yeah, any team that will come to the Carriage Road now, we'll have a difficult game. But unfortunately, COVID changed everything, and we had the worst final day possible.
Yeah, I think the final game was against Arsenal, wasn't it, at the Emirates Stadium? And very quickly, Watford conceded an early penalty, and ultimately we lost that game and got relegated. It felt to me at that time that the current group of players who were so successful back under Javi Gracia, it felt that group had kind of come to the end of the road. Of course, Troy Deeney, Ben Foster, Craig Cathcart, all these big long-term players at the club had kind of come to the end of their time there in my eyes. For you as a player, Christian, getting relegated against Arsenal on that final day, for us it was so difficult as fans, of course, during COVID, because we couldn't be there to support the team. We were all watching from home. How disappointing was that for you? Because we were so close to staying up. And of course, you can take your mind back, as you mentioned, to that Liverpool game where we all felt at the time we were, as a collective, capable of beating anyone. Deulofeu suffered a serious injury that day as well. You must have been, immensely disappointed as a group of players that year. Of course, Nigel Pearson getting sacked as well just before that last game. How was the feeling in the dressing room after Arsenal? Was it anger, frustration, sadness? How were the emotions?
Yeah, I think all the emotions that you mentioned. First of all, sad because we were just coming from the best season in the history of the club, and we were doing so well the season before, and the season after we just throw everything away. Personally, I was devastated. I was devastated after that game. I remember I couldn't watch football for not for days, but for weeks, for months. I couldn't watch after that season a Premier League game, because I felt devastated. I felt devastated because I had the feeling to let the club down, because we built as a club, and the group of players, the board, the fans, we built something special at Watford during 5 years, and because we were not well prepared to restart for the coming season, everything changed, and everything was going away. So yeah, it was as well the last game of Aurelio Gomez. He was retiring after that game, and obviously he cried after the game, and it makes me as well so much pain, because I felt responsible of ending a career of someone with a great history in the club and in football, with a bad performance at Arsenal. So yeah, it was really tough time, and I think I never felt so bad than that day. Yeah.
So you would say, as a player in your professional career, was that your lowest moment?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I can remember that there was as well when some moment in the championship, but it wasn't the same, because you are in the best league in the world, and for one goal too much, two goal too much conceded, you just go down. Yeah, we can talk about the COVID. Yes, we can talk about the Sheffield United goal as well. Yeah, but at the end, when you go down for a point also, um, you cannot find excuses over 38 games. If you are not good enough over 38 games, there is no way you can talk about the referees, because we remember as well it was the introduction of the VAR, the VAR, and we had some strange goal at Tottenham, for example, some penalties
Yes.
forgotten. But let's not talk about this. Let's talk about us, the player. We should have took responsibility much earlier in that season, and had that sense that, yeah, we are in danger, and we didn't have that.
Yeah, it is a shame, but Watford did repay us in the following season with promotion back under Xisco Munoz. He was a very, very happy manager, a larger than life character. We all enjoyed the football that Xisco Munoz played. As players, was it refreshing to have, such a different manager in the building? A Spanish manager, very bubbly, very happy, and his football was extremely entertaining to watch. As players, Cabba, that must have been, a much better season for you to play in.
Yeah, of course. I remember he had this habit to put some music before the game meetings, the meeting before the game, just before going to the stadium. And these little things just show you what kind of person he is. Person really positive, really. I really enjoy working with him because he just brings this fresh air around the club, around the team. Because yeah, it was really difficult as well with Vladimir Ivic, and he was able to change this environment and this atmosphere around the club, around the team, and every player were feeling involved in this team. I remember I was injured for a long time when we arrived, but even though I felt part of the team. So yeah, it was as well a historical season for in terms of goal conceded, in terms of wins at home. We were really solid, and it was like, yeah, uh, we go into the game. Maybe we will suffer at some point, but we will find a way to win the game because we had this foundation and this togetherness between us that everything was possible.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously the final game, Watford getting promoted against Millwall in a 1-0 victory. I think was it João Pedro or what might have been Ismaila Sarr actually who scored the penalty. I can't quite remember.
Yeah,
But
it's
at the
Sam, I
end of
think.
the yeah, Ismaila Sarr. Yeah, at the very end of that game, Cabba, you put on a very famous T-shirt. I think you know what I'm about to say. Local man is pleased. Talk to me about how that come about because I think it all started, Cabba, in that Bournemouth game. Was it the Bournemouth away game where that all started to happen? Local man is pleased.
Yeah, sure, because I think in that game, so Jefferson Norma was like always when we play against him, trying to provocate us, and he provoked Nate, I think, and Nate get a red card or Ismaila, I don't remember, but anyway, he was provocating a lot.
Yeah.
And the day after, some people show me what Bournemouth had put on their social media about him. And yeah, it just stayed in my mind. Stayed in my mind because we were like third at the league at that time or second, but we were at a better place than them. And I just didn't understand why they were like doing this on social media. So I kept it in my mind, and the week before the last game, I just thought that maybe it's the time to put something on about the local men's please. So I thought about a T-shirt, and to be honest, I didn't expect it that it would have so much impacted in the community with the fans. So I just did it to answer back to Bournemouth at that time. And yeah, I enjoyed because after everybody wanted a T-shirt, I think the club made as well T-shirts for
Yeah,
our
the club
return.
started selling the shirts in the
Yeah,
shop. Yeah.
and for the little story, I didn't get any money for that T-shirt, so it's a shame. No copyright, nothing. Maybe I should have talked with the commercial department.
Yeah.
But no, it was, sometimes in football something like this happen, and yeah, I just don't take it too much serious. What's going on social media? Just something to joke about. So yeah, it was at that time it was funny, and yeah, I think a lot of people loved it.
Yeah, and ultimately, Cabba, your Watford career ended in 2023, obviously moving to Udinese, as we mentioned earlier. Looking back at your Watford career, 7 years at the club, has that been, your highlight in football, Watford FC? Is that where you feel your footballing home is?
Yes, definitely, definitely. I remember when I said to my kids that we would leave Watford, they both cried, and at that time I was that close to say, you know what, let's forgive Italy and we stay here if it makes you feel like this. But sometimes in life and in football, you have to make some difficult decision. And I always felt really attached to the club. I had maybe there were not a lot of rumors about this, but every year I had the possibility to leave the club. Every year I had the possibility to leave the club. One year I had a big money offer from Middle East to leave the
Wow.
club, but I just didn't feel it was the right things to do because we were in the middle of the season, the transfer market was closed, and I had that much of respect for Gino, for the club. I didn't want to put anybody out trouble, so I turned out that offer. So
What
so yeah,
what what season was that offer made in, Colour, if you don't mind me asking? Do you remember?
it was our season back in the Premier League in after was with Cisco. Well, I don't remember
Oh,
the
okay.
year exactly. But when we went back in the Premier League in September, I had the possibility to leave again. And no, I just, I'm not a fake person. When I feel good at some place, I don't chase money. I don't chase something more, or I don't do like most of the players do. Yeah, we are going down in the championship, so I want to be a part of the team and try to find a better solution. No, I have so much respect for Watford. They gave me a lot in my life. They gave me a lot in football. So I have this feeling of belonging to the club, and this feeling of love that I don't feel for a lot of teams in my career. To be honest, I feel it for two teams in my career. For Genk that gave me the possibility to play in the first league in Belgium, and for Watford. All the other teams I have, sorry for the fans, but I have a lot of respect for them. But I there is something different about Watford. I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, that's why I hope that maybe after my career, I will have the possibility to go back there to maybe to help the young department with my coaching badges, or maybe to be a coach with the first team. Who knows? But I
Get on the
have
phone
the
to Tom
feeling.
Cleverley, Cover.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm still in touch with him sometimes. So we get a chance to talk a little bit, but yeah, I had the feeling that when I left Watford, it wasn't for forever. So we will see what life gives me, and yeah, who knows? We will maybe go back to Watford one day. We never know.
Exciting stuff. That very interesting chat from you, Cover. Thank you so much. Before
You're
we go,
welcome.
I've got some quick fire questions for you. So short answers only. Are you ready to go with these quick fire questions, Christian Kabasele?
Yeah,
Okay, here we go. Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Oh, correct answer. Correct answer. Best defender you played with in your career?
Vincent Company, international team.
Ah, that's a good answer as well, Vincent Company. Best attacker you've faced?
Best attacker, I would say Lukaku.
Oh, football manager or FIFA?
Uh, should I answer? This
Well,
is
I know,
obvious, no?
Christian, you're a big football manager fan, of course. So,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, because I had the possibility to went to the studios as well, and yeah, for me it was like going to Disneyland. I was so happy that day, and yeah, I'm a big football manager fan.
yeah. It's a shame the new game's been delayed, actually. Hopefully, we'll see the new game, Christian, come out very, very soon.
Sure.
Favorite band or music artist? Do you have a favorite musician?
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Adidas or Nike?
None.
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 What boots do you like to wear, Christian, when you play football?
For me, it's Puma.
Puma,
It's
okay.
for the least short story. I changed 3 or 4 years ago to I was with Adidas and now I'm with Puma. So yeah, I feel better in Puma definitely.
Score a winning goal or a goal line clearance?
Now scoring. It's
Score.
there is a feeling when you score that is you cannot describe and you will never get it even if you do the best goal line clearance.
What is your go-to pre-match meal?
The basics it will be pasta with some fish. Yeah, basics.
Yeah, I think that's what most footballers say, Christian. And
But to
finally,
be to be honest, I when I was in Belgium, I wasn't eating like this. I was more kebab before the game. So
oh really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Can I
But
just
after
ask? Obviously, footballers have to stick to quite a strict diet. But
yeah.
after games, do you sometimes eat junk food and sometimes the nutritionists say, no, no, you cannot eat that, like pizza or, just junk food that normal people eat.
Yeah, I think you can I would say once a week eat whatever you like and whatever you want because I think is important as well for the mind to sometimes switch off from football. So yeah, even here straight after the game we get some pizza in the changing room. Light pizza with gluten free flour. But yeah, they are still open with this as well.
And finally, English football or Italian football, which do you prefer?
English football.
Ah,
It's the most exciting one. In Italy, it's more about tactics and the games are really closed. But in England, we get this kind of NBA games, hand to hand, and yeah, there is more open play in England.
Christian, it's been a pleasure speaking to you today. Of course, you played for Watford when I was growing up as a teenager. So, yeah, it's been a real pleasure speaking to you. Before you go, do you have a message to any Watford fans watching our interview today?
No, I just wishing you all the best for the rest of the season. Keep pushing the team. I remember I watched the game, the FA Cup game against Fulham, and I was with my son and we were singing all the Watford chant that night. So yeah, keep believing in the team, keep backing the staff, Tom, Paul, everybody. They are good people, and I'm sure they are doing their best to bring this club where they belong. So all the best, and yeah, as I said in one of Tom's publication on Instagram, I miss you all, and hopefully I will have the chance to come back to watch again.
I hope so too, Cabba. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're
It's
welcome.
very
Thank you.
much appreciated. And thank you to everyone who has watched our interview with Christian Kabasele today. If you haven't already, please do hit subscribe down below, leave a like on the video, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.